What Pet Should I Get? My name is Julia Bachelor. Today we have an excellent show. Emily Jordan will be here from the Ontario SPCA. Later on in the program, Christine Tomaselli from Golden Rescue will be here. And up first, back from summer hiatus from Dogtails Rescue and Animal Sanctuary is Claire Fondren.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. It's so exciting to be back.
I know we missed you. I mean, Tamara was here last week in your place, and she's awesome. But it's great to see your face again.
No, it is. And you know what? Last season, you guys helped us find homes for so many of our dogs that we're just so excited to be back for season 2.
And I love hearing that. I love that we're doing our job.
Yeah.
And you guys are a great organization to partner with.
Thank you.
And speaking of partnerships, I know that this summer has been very busy for you, and you have been building relationships with organizations. So talk to us about the newest partnership that you have in the works right now.
Yeah, so just a couple months ago, we partnered up with the Humane Society International. Essentially, we've been following what's been going on in Yulin with the Dog Meat Festival for a while now, and we had been looking for a way that we could help these dogs and make a difference for them. And the Humane Society International actually reached out to us because they had rescued 100 dogs from this year's festival, and they were looking for rescues where they could send them and hopefully eventually have them rehomed. And so it seemed like the perfect opportunity to do what we can to help these dogs and also do it with such an amazing organization. So we're really excited.
Now, for viewers that may not be familiar with the Yulin Dog Festival, this takes place in China.
It does.
Where I know, and it's not countrywide, the whole practice of eating dogs. But in certain areas, it's very popular, and Yulin obviously is one of those places. Do you know the history of this festival and like how long has it been going on and really how it came to be?
So it's been going on for years. Essentially it happens as a celebration of the summer solstice. So it's very important to keep in mind that it's a very small group of people in China that are putting on this festival every year, and actually a lot of advocates in China have been protesting it since the beginning. Over the last few years, it has definitely got a ton of media attention. A lot of people didn't know what was going on up until a few years ago. So over the last few years, we've seen, a big push to end this festival. These dogs are being slaughtered literally in the streets. And another big problem is a lot of these dogs are stolen family pets. So there will be dog snatchers that literally are driving around looking for dogs that they can then sell for meat at the festival because it's just such a lucrative.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's just terrible.
Like, and I know the work that you're doing and the Humane Society International, obviously you're trying to house the dogs that are being bred and then taken out of the dog meat market. I guess the key thing though is the people who choose to participate in this is how do we get to them to say, this is a practice that really, does it need to happen?
Right.
Yeah. How do we get to people to not want to participate in anymore? That's, I think, the key thing, right?
Exactly. And I think baby steps, changing the way that these dogs are being treated prior to being killed, for me is, the starting point, really.
Yep.
And then ultimately, we would love to see the festival end in general.
Well, now speaking about partnerships, I know that Dogtails, you partner with different rescue organizations to get the dogs to the sanctuary. Miami-Dade is one of the places that you go to.
Yep.
And I believe the 2 dogs that you have here today, one of them, Dixie.
Linda.
Linda.
Yeah.
Okay, so Linda is from Miami-Dade. So talk to us about that organization and how she came to be at Dogtails.
Yeah, so Linda, last fall we went to Miami, and basically our mission at that point was to pull dogs that were on their euthanasia list, so the dogs that really had no other hope.
Yep.
And Linda was one of them. As you can probably see on your screen, Linda is completely blind.
Yep.
And dogs with disabilities, it's so hard to find them homes because they really do need special, very understanding homes. And because of that, and because Miami-Dade is so overcrowded, she was put on the euthanasia list pretty quickly after arriving. So, of course, we pulled her, and she is an incredible, sweet dog with so much love to give, and she just really needs someone to be her eyes, but she isn't fazed by her disability at all, and she loves to run around outside. Her other senses are definitely heightened, so it helps her, and she's an incredible dog.
So she's been at the sanctuary now, you said, for about a year. And obviously the sanctuary, how many dogs do you guys have there right now?
Right now we have just under 100.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she's obviously interacting with other dogs.
Yeah.
I've seen videos where there's dogs or cats that are blind, and they usually have a partner animal with them
A seeing eye.
a seeing eye dog. Has she sort of bonded with any of the other dogs, and have you seen that relationship at all form?
So we put her in play group, and there are definitely a few dogs that she kind of gravitates towards. Perhaps that's why. As a general rule, though, we do think she'd be a little more comfortable as the only dog in a home, just because since she can't see, unless it's a really low energy dog.
Yeah.
But she can get startled pretty easily, and definitely, like, if another dog is sneaking up on her, it'll really freak her out. So we think that she'd be most comfortable in a one-dog family.
And because of her being blind, and you said because she startles easy, would you think that she would be best suited maybe to adults-only household, or do you think kids would be good?
Yeah, not necessarily adults only, but definitely older kids that can understand her disability and understand that this isn't a dog you can just run up to and you know, grab her face and start loving on her. She needs, when you approach her, you need to be saying her name and just letting her know that you're there before you start to pat her.
Okay, so we only have about a minute, so I want to get to Dixie before we run out of time. So talk to us about Dixie. Oh, I'm going to let her jump down so everybody can get a good look at her.
Dixie is amazing. So Dixie is a 4-year-old Bichon who was surrendered to us just a couple of months ago. Dixie was surrendered because she had a condition called IDD. So essentially there was a problem with a disc in her spine, and she needed spinal surgery. And the surgery was a success, and it saved her life. But after the surgery, the mobility in her back legs has been affected, and she also has trouble controlling her bladder, so she needs a diaper. So her family didn't really feel comfortable dealing with that extra care that was needed, so they brought her to us. But she would be amazing with dogs, cats, kids, babies, everything. She is the happiest, sweetest dog you will ever meet.
Well, she's been on my lap pretty much for the whole segment, and she is a little sweetheart.
Yeah.
And, you know, she would make a great pet for any family, right?
Any family. She is incredible, and she will make you laugh all day long.
Perfect. Well, if you're interested in adopting either Linda or Dixie, please visit our website for more details, and better yet, go and see Dog Tales in person. We'll be right back after this. Good girl. Welcome back to What Pet Should I Get? I'm Julia Bachelor. Joining me now is Emily Jordan from the Ontario SPCA. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
And you have brought 2 little guinea pigs with you, but before we talk about these little girls, I wanted to ask you, so the last time you were on, you had a cat adoption special going on where you had reduced the fee to $50 because we have a lot of cats right now in shelters that need homes. How did that go?
It went amazing. Our PetSmart locations are pretty much empty, and the shelter's pretty empty as well, so it did really well.
Perfect. And I just love the idea. I know that it's been in practice for many years now that shelters partner with pet stores. Because once upon a time, when you went to a pet store, the pet that was in there, you bought it. It had no relation to a rescue organization whatsoever. Many times it came from a breeder. And then they stopped that. And
yeah, I think there was too many that were coming in that were from puppy mills and the equivalent to kitten mills, if you will. So they tried to get away from that. So now a lot of pet stores are working with shelters and rescue groups and bringing in adoptable animals.
Well, and you know, a cat is a cat is a cat, right? I mean,
Yeah,
some people
it doesn't
wouldn't go to an adoption center at some point because they think, you know, the stigma's not really as much there anymore, but some people still have that idea that if an animal's at a shelter, there's something wrong with the animal.
Which is not true at all.
No,
I mean,
not at
especially if
all.
you're getting kittens, it's just a litter of kittens. There's nothing wrong with them. They just...
And I imagine that with these partnerships, with like PetSmart is a great partnership. I know that's part of their mandate to help rescue organizations. That must also help organizations like you guys that your adoption rates are going up, and I know there's times where if a shelter is incredibly overcrowded and they can't find homes for them, sometimes the worst case scenario is animals have to be destroyed, right?
And that's why it's so nice to have these satellite outlets to create, more space for animals to go to. So they really help us in that regard, and they give back to the shelters as well. So this past weekend, for every 15 animals adopted from the Barrie PetSmart, they gave $500 back to the shelter.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. So speaking of other things that are coming up, or that's in the past, but things that are coming up in the future, you have a dog seminar.
So on October 26th, anyone who's adopted a dog, if they would like to come to our seminar, they can register. It's totally free, but we have limited spaces, so you do have to register. And it's going to be kind of an open discussion for people who need help. We're going to talk about separation anxiety, developing a relationship with a vet, and pretty much anything anybody wants to talk about. We're going to have resources there to kind of help you with that.
So is there a limit to the space of people who can sign up for that?
Yeah, there are. I'm not sure what the number is, but they do have to register. So you can go on our website and you can email the person in charge of that and get your name on the list.
That's great, because people love advice, especially when it comes to their animals.
Yeah.
And behavioral, like you just mentioned, a big one, separation anxiety. And I understand that, especially with dogs, I think, isn't it the more intelligent the dog, the more anxious an intelligent dog can become, because he's aware or she's aware that the owner is not there.
And a lot of times intelligent dogs, they need something to do. They want to be constantly stimulated. So when you leave, that's when they kind of panic, like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? So there's going to be tips to help you with that.
So do you have a behavioral specialist coming in, or is it somebody that works at the Ontario SPCA?
I believe we're having, we have a volunteer trainer, so I think he's going to be taking part in that, and we're going to have some other experts there as well.
Excellent, and that's on October 26th, you said. Now, it's right around the corner is one of my favorite holidays on the planet.
Me too.
It's Halloween. Now, you guys have an event coming up for Halloween too. So we have a poster, if you could bring that up for us. Talk to us about that event.
Yeah, so we do that for the past 3 years or so. We've been having it. It's been really successful, and there's going to be lots of fun stuff. So there's going to be games for your dog to do. We're going to have a professional photo booth. So if you want to dress up or bring your pets for a photo, you can do that.
The dog that's dressed like a
Yes. And there's going to be 50-50 draw. There's going to be a costume contest. So lots of fun things, Halloween treats. So lots of good stuff happening.
And we'll make sure we get that poster on our website too. So if you visit our website, you'll get to see it, or just visit the Ontario SPCA website. Also, I just want to say to my viewers too that if you like to put your animals in costumes, please send us your photos in, because we would love to see them. I think there's nothing more fun than seeing a dog or a cat. My cat luckily enjoys, I think, he does not fight me, so I'm assuming he likes to wear costumes. Yeah.
We're actually going to do a social media contest as well. So if people want to submit theirs to our, we're going to have a post on our Facebook page of where to submit your photos, and there's going to be a contest on there.
There'll be like a hashtag associated with it, I think. Okay, so make sure that you watch for that.
Yeah.
So you've brought two lovely little guinea pigs in. Now this guy here is Caramel.
Yes.
I'm going to show her off to the camera. Talk to us about Caramel.
So they're both 1-year-old sisters that came in.
Sisters.
Yeah, so they're a bonded pair, so we would like them to go together. And the person unfortunately had allergies to the guinea pigs and couldn't keep them any longer, so they've ended up with us. But they're pretty social. I mean, the people said they spent a lot of time with them, so they are used to human interaction.
Yeah, she's very good at being handled.
Yeah, so that's nice, because they always, sometimes when they come in, they're not always as social because people maybe didn't spend that time. So these guys luckily are. So they would do great with kids or any family. They said, they love their treats. Carrots and lettuce are their favorites, and they like cardboard boxes to hide in.
Yeah, they need their alone time, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing with guinea pigs. Well, I guess with a lot of
Smaller
rodents,
animals, yeah.
Yeah, they need their alone time. But then, like you said, as long as I think you handle them a lot, they are great pets, especially for, I think, when young children, because the responsibility of a guinea pig, I wouldn't say it's any, oh, she's peeing on me. Okay. I wouldn't say it's any less than a dog or a cat, but it's a different set of things that you need to sort of take into consideration.
The cage, right? So you need
cleaning
to clean
the
the cage, shavings and all that stuff. So it's a little more, maybe a little more upkeep than a cat, I think. So you definitely want to make sure your kids are ready for the responsibility. And if, it turns out they aren't, then I hope the parents are going to step up and take that responsibility on themselves.
I think that anybody that, is adopting any sort of pet for their child, no matter how much a child says that I will be responsible and I'll walk him every day and I'll clean his litter or whatever, I think all parents, they need to know that, kids don't always do what they say, and animals are a lot of work, but I think it's you know, it's such a great addition to your family having any sort of pet.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much, and I want to wish you great success with the dog seminar and the Halloween festival that's coming up. So make sure that you look for both of those. Check out the Ontario SPCA website. And if you have adopted a pet from the Ontario SPCA, please let us know about it. Write in, and we want to hear from you. And coming up right now is an adoption story with Sophie, who is an employee of the Ontario SPCA. There she is.
I'm Sophie Buck, and these are my cats. This is Carmen, and this is Fitz here. I actually met them before I was a staff member here, when I was a volunteer here at the OSPCA. When I met Fitz, he actually came right up to me and put his paw on my face and then stared right into my eyes, so I knew he was my cat. I brought my boyfriend in to meet him, and then this one stole his heart, so we ended up taking them both. Fitz had some medical needs. He had chronic diarrhea actually when I first got him, so he required a lot of ongoing veterinary care. And being able to get him to his best self was really rewarding for both myself and I think for him too. What's really nice about getting cats from a shelter is that when you come in here, the staff here aren't here to make a sale. They're really here to help the cats find the best home for them, and they're here to help you find the best cat for you. And you really get to know everything about that cat as well, because they're very, very open and upfront about everything.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Christine Tomaselli and Dan Waterfield from the organization Golden Rescue. And as the name would indicate, they rescue golden retrievers. And we have two beautiful dogs. Here today we have Limon and Tokyo. Now, before we talk about the dogs, I want to ask you about the organization Golden Rescue. How did you get started and how long have you been around?
So Golden Rescue has been in operation for 26 years, and it started literally with the rescue of one dog 26 years ago.
Was that you?
No, it was not.
Okay.
No, it was a group of breeders who were looking for a place for some of their Goldens who were returned to them.
Okay.
And then from that, other Golden organizations, other people that had Golden Retrievers wanted to find homes for them. And the entire organization just really evolved from one Golden to where we are today, where we've rescued almost 2,500 Goldens.
That's amazing. Now, Golden Retrievers are, they're known as the family dog.
Right.
Why is there such a need to rehouse Golden Retrievers? Because you think once they're in a home forever.
That would be in a perfect world.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. And Goldens come into our program for a variety of reasons. About 50% of our Goldens are surrendered. You know, life changes. People get a Golden or any kind of a dog with all the best intentions, and then life changes.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, they find themselves in a position where they have to give up their Golden. And really, they're doing the right thing. As far as we're concerned, a surrendered Golden is a Golden that has a second chance for a better life. We will take exceptionally good care of them and make sure that they find their new forever home and sort of live happily ever after. So we welcome people who feel that they can't care for their Golden to call us and let us take their Golden for them and give them a second chance.
Well, obviously the goal is they come into you, but you want them to go back out and find their new forever homes. Mm-hmm. Talk to us, what type of dog is a Golden Retriever and what kind of family would they be best suited for? I guess, Dan, you have two Golden Retrievers.
I have a Golden as well.
This is our second group, and we have 5 grandchildren, and both of our kids have Golden Retrievers. So I think it's a breed that's very easy to train.
Yeah, they're very intelligent,
Very
right?
intelligent, and they're good with kids. And so we've just, this is probably, this is our second set of rescue dogs, and our first dog, after we got married, was a Golden. Many years ago, and we just decided that was the breed for us. The temperament is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I've had 3 Goldens as well. I currently have one, and I agree with Dan. They're just loving, gentle, wonderful home companions, and they truly become part of your family in an instant. And you know, I have to tell you something. It's interesting when people rescue, when our adopters rescue their Goldens, they very often say that they feel that they've been rescued also. So it's a nice sentiment.
Yeah, I think a good pet, they become a family member.
They do.
Right? Do you? I have cats, and I love my cats like they're my children.
Yes.
Now, your work, you have been rescuing golden retrievers, you said, for 26 years.
Yes.
And your work is going global.
Yes.
So talk to us about, you have, it's called the Mission of Love.
Yes.
Now, this is going on, you are rescuing golden retrievers from Istanbul, Turkey.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
So about a year ago, it came to our attention. We were approached by volunteers in Istanbul that this situation existed, that there was an abundance of golden retrievers that needed to find a forever home. Golden retrievers do not survive well in shelters, overcrowded shelters, which is the situation there. They don't survive well in the forest or on the street, which is where many of them live today. And they have reached out to rescue organizations in North America and in other parts of the world for help. We did our due diligence. We found out about the program, but we wanted to make sure that it was the right program for golden rescue and certainly fit within our mission and our mandate. So a couple of our board members went to Istanbul, spoke to the volunteers, went into a number of shelters, and really wanted to understand what the situation was over there. We also spoke to our supporters and our volunteers to make sure that they were on board, and we also looked into our database of adopters to make sure that we had that there was an interest in adopting a golden sight unseen from Istanbul. As I mentioned to you before, you know, and in terms of rescue, we feel that there are no borders, and a golden in need is a golden in need, and we found that through our due diligence and asking our network, we decided to move forward with this operation.
So how many Goldens have you brought over from Istanbul since your partnership began?
So we've brought in 118.
118. Now, the two dogs that you see here today belong to Dan and his wife Bonnie, and these dogs are from Istanbul.
Yeah, they were the first, in the first batch that came in December 2nd, 2015. They were 2 of the first 4.
So now you're saying that the dogs, you're looking for people who are willing to adopt dogs sight unseen. Was that the situation with you? You knew that
well, what
there was
happened is we had 2 Goldens before from Golden Rescue. We lost them both to cancer.
Oh, okay.
And we went about 6 months without a dog, and it was like, uh-oh, you know, something's missing here when we come home, or, you know, and so we got in touch with Golden, and they indicated, Golden Rescue, they indicated that they were bringing some from Turkey. And so we met them at the airport, and we said, well, you know, we just don't know what we're going to get. So we'll take them for a couple of weeks of the trial. Well, they were out of the cage for 15 minutes, and we signed the adoption papers right at the airport.
That's excellent.
So they didn't get a chance to go to anywhere else but our house. And we have a good-sized lot. We were over in Callan. So they get to run pretty good, and we have bush behind us. So they're
living in dog heaven, basically.
Well, compared to perhaps what they had, we just wish they could tell us what they've been through.
And I imagine, like you said, I mean, you said earlier that people had really good intentions that sometimes get Goldens, and I imagine the situation in Turkey is exactly that. I mean, the political unrest happening there, economic unrest, people wanted these beautiful dogs and no longer could take care of them.
That's right.
And like, you know, thank God for the organization over there reaching out to you for this partnership to happen. Now, do you have any upcoming trips? Are you getting more dogs in?
We are. We have a number of trips that are scheduled until the end of December, actually. We have 3 more arrivals scheduled. And I have to tell you that when we're at Air Canada Cargo, it's quite a sight to behold. There aren't many dry eyes when all of these precious Goldens are released from their traveling crates. And it has become such an event that some of the off-duty Air Canada cargo employees now bring their families to watch the event, because it really is incredibly heartwarming.
Do you list that on your website when you're going to have your next arrival?
We do, on the day of the arrival.
Okay, so make sure that you watch the website. The Golden Rescue's website will be on ours, so you can check it at our website for more details. Thank you so much, Christine, Dan, for being on the show. And we'd love to have you back. And the next time that they're on the show, we'll have some Golden Rescues that you may adopt. Thank you, everybody, for watching What Pet Should I Get? I'm Julia Bachelor, and we'll see you next time.